All right, how's it going there, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here you are with the Mighty Gator Unleashed. Glad you guys could drop by. Today is Sunday, September the 4th, 2022. Oh, I want to welcome all you new subscribers. I want to welcome all you old subscribers. Thank you guys for tuning in. I like to think everybody gets a little something out of these little videos. Try to make them fun and interesting, but our country's in such a bad shape, it's hard to be much of a cut up at this time, unless you're just oblivious to all that's going on, which evidently about a third of our country is. Oh, anyway, today some things just came to my attention. I have realized some things. Here in London, Kentucky, we got the big Flealand flea market, the world's biggest indoor flea market, is what they say. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I doubt that it is, but it's what it says on the building. Been there for years. Um, my whole life, and well before I was born, all the older guys in these, we're in Eastern Kentucky. All these old guys, they've always bought and traded guns, just every Tuesday and every Saturday and Sunday. It's just what people do here. And for the past probably 70 years or more, I don't know of any problems that there's been with people accidentally discharging a firearm. Um, it's just been people exercising their Second Amendment rights peacefully and just all great, good stuff. It's just been Americans being Americans. Um, and I'm for that. I like that. However, about 6 months ago at this Flealand flea market in London, Kentucky, um, I don't really know who it was or whatnot. They come out there and they sell guns. They set up tables and fill them full of guns and sell them. No background checks, nothing. And it's went on for years. The sheriff here, he's real lenient on this type of thing. The ATF has came out there a couple of times in the last few years. Um, I don't really know the law on this. I know if you have a federal firearm license, then you have to, if you sell a firearm, you have to do a background check on those people. You don't have to out there. And I've heard some horror stories about very young people buying guns and things. And that kind of thing is hurting us, guys. It's really hurting us on our those of us that are for our Second Amendment rights. Um, Now, about 6 months ago, there was a guy. He had some guns out on the table. Another man, a full-grown man, came by, picked one of them up, pulled the trigger. Gun went off, hit a Toyota truck in the door. My brother was standing right there. Gun went off, hit a Toyota truck right in the door, and he said it looked like somebody hauled off with a sledgehammer and hit it as hard as they could, caved the side of this door in. The bullet then bounced off and hit a woman standing there in the leg. That bullet's in her leg today. It's untelling what this costed her or her insurance company if she's got insurance. I don't know the woman. I do know through um, people um, that has Facebook and things that they didn't get the bullet out. I don't know if it's causing her problems much, but evidently it's not. Regardless, this is the type of thing that absolutely kills those of us that are for the right to bear arms. Um, the left uses this type of thing every time it happens. Um, and as I realize things, they have some good points. Okay, yesterday, again, London Flealand Flea Market. This place has thousands of people go through it every weekend. My brother was right there again. Somebody come by, a little kid picked up a gun, laid on the table, pulled the trigger, bam, went off. Now, luckily, nobody was hit with this bullet. But, I've realized, guys, over the past 75 years, while all this gun trading and stuff has gone on and taken place, all these old guys, we had a society that was intelligent enough to handle and deal with a firearm. Today, many Americans aren't intelligent enough to deal with a firearm. Our society has declined into such a state of sheer ignorance. Maybe they do need to crack down on some gun laws. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. What do you guys think? I know I don't want to see people shot at these flea markets. Twice in 6 months is 2 times too many. This should never happen, guys. Um, I've been around firearms my entire life, and I can't get low enough to comprehend either of the two scenarios here. First of all, I can't get low enough to understand how anybody that's trying to sell some guns would lay one out on a table in public with people of all ages walking back and forth by here all day constantly. There's no way I would have a loaded gun laid out there. And then on the other side of that, there's no way I could comprehend even a child going by, picking up a pistol or rifle, whatever it was, I think it was a pistol, and pulling the trigger. This is just what's happened to our world, guys. I mean, you've got to stop and consider the most basic facts. We had over 60 million people just in the less than 2 years ago vote for Joe Biden. Now, anybody that voted for Joe Biden isn't intelligent enough to carry a gun or have any rights. They're not intelligent enough to have voting rights. I mean, Joe Biden is the lowest, the most unintelligent, the most dishonest, the most unqualified, the most pathetic, treasonous scum of the earth politician this nation has ever seen. He has a consistent, before he became president, he had a consistent 47 or 44-year record of lying, sheer ignorance, and selling out America. So how anyone could vote for this guy is beyond me. Just totally astonishing. I don't care how bad you hate Donald Trump's tweets or his personality or his hair or his small hands or his arrogance or his billions of dollars he has before he become president. None of that justifies voting for Joe Biden. Nobody won with Joe Biden. Regardless, to this issue of this video, when I realize this thing and when I see people today still trying to defend Joe Biden, despite the epic failure, not monthly, but weekly, he and Harris show off every week, I realize that our society has been dumbed down to the point, maybe we do need to do something about gun rights. Now, what I would like to see happen, logically, what would be a logical thing, of course this won't happen, this guy at this flea market that laid, in both cases, that put these guns out loaded, these guys should be severely punished. They should lose their firearms. I'm sure they don't have federal firearm license. I'm positive of that. I'd be stunned if they did. They don't. They should be raided. I don't know what they need to do. They need to raid them every 3 days and take everything they've got. Every bullet, every firearm. They need to have an open, non-restrictive warrant to come and search their house, their cars, their property, everything until they die for the rest of their lives. And if they're ever caught with a firearm again, they need to be put in jail for life. I mean, this is just, you can't play around with this stuff. Now that's the kind of thing I would like to see happen. The ones that are too ignorant to enjoy our rights should be punished, but that's not what will happen. They will group us all together, just like our fake president here this week said that all of us that are for securing the southern border, all of us that are for America first, all of us that are for producing our own energy in America, all of us that understand and are for using our fossil fuels simply because there is nothing else as of September the 4th, 2022, that's today. As of today, there is nothing else to provide to meet our energy demands. All of us people, we've been labeled as, what they call us, mega extremists. They accuse us of promoting violence. Pretty much declared war on us. And we're over half of the country But that's Joe Biden, guys. This is the type of thing the idiot has done his whole life. It's just one drama-infested scandal after another. Endless. It's endless. I could go on. I could sit here for the rest of the week and talk about it. Um, you know, now what they're accusing us of, the Democrats literally have done all of this in the last 2 years. We've saw Maxine Waters plead to the citizens to attack Republican politicians if they see them out in public. We've seen people, Black Lives Matters, people in the Black Lives Matters organization, go into restaurants and shout down at people until they nod and agree with them that Black Lives Matter. It's just been endless what we've seen. We saw after the George Floyd death, we saw in the very first night in Minneapolis, we saw 12 people killed, over $50 million in property damage done. That night, one of the casualties of that night was a black man there on the street that had a little tiny business. He'd been in business there for over 20 years. They went and busted his windows out, or he was there at the store. They drug him out in the street and beat him to death. His name was Darrell Singleton or something. I'll find the name. And have it on the video. You could Google it and find out. They drug this man out and they beat him to death on the street. And all of these educated people in our country, that's the ones that votes for Biden. All of those people that was furious and outraged over George Floyd passing away from a drug overdose while resisting arrest after spending a lifetime, literally decades, of being nothing more than a career criminal thug. They was all busted up over this guy dying. Not a word said over the black business owner in Minneapolis that was drug out and killed. But these politicians on the left, the highest level Democrats, that's what they did. They are the extremists. They promoted violence and riots all over the country for over a year. But now they call us on the right extremists. It's just ridiculous, guys. It's just totally ridiculous. And I don't know what's going to happen, but if you all have watched my channel, you know that I've predicted all of this. And I said that we won't survive Joe Biden being in office for 2 years, and I still believe that. We're approaching 2 years. He's about a year and a half in. I think that the world will collapse within the next 6 months, and I certainly hope I'm wrong. We will at least see horrific, unimaginable changes to our nation and our world in the next 6 months. We already have in the past 6 months. Europe's in the dark today. Poland, people in Poland are struggling to get a block of coal, anything they can get to get some heat. Russia, they're going to push them into the corner, and they're going to push a big nuke button here just any time, I'm afraid. It's just unreal what's happened. But anyway, back to our gun rights. These people, we're giving them plenty of ammo to use against us, guys. And I think, as I kind of touched on, I think I have realized the point where I've reached the point where I realize our society isn't intelligent enough to have unrestricted gun rights. They just aren't. We're talking about a society infested with educated people that don't know what restroom to use out in public. They'll tell you. We're talking about a society that can't define what a woman is. People, the Democrats, people of the left, they can't define what a woman is. They accuse somebody like me of hating women or wanting to control women, or whatnot, because we think it's murder to kill an unborn baby, and I don't see how it's anything else. But it's just unreal. It's unimaginable. And I knew we would see lies and dishonesty from Joe Biden. And they own the media. They own all Big tech, they own all the social media. I've tried to get Truth Social now for a year. You can't get it on Android. They don't want us to get it. They're doing everything they can to hold it up. They don't want Trump to have any kind of platform to promote America first. They don't want that. They want America last. But anyway, I'm at 15 minutes, guys. Gun rights versus gun safety. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, guys, with these people that just continually are irresponsible and neglect their responsibility when handling firearms? We can't let people be out here getting killed. I don't want my brother to get shot out there at the flea market looking around at some stuff. I don't want to see anybody get shot, especially my brother. He goes every weekend. Something's got to give, guys. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be those of us that like the right to bear arms is what's going to give. The ATF needs to come out there, and every one of these guys selling guns, they need to bust them. They really do. They need to at least bust the ones that are letting this happen. Need to make an example out of them. You just can't do that, guys. It's zero tolerance for neglect when you're talking about a firearm. You kill somebody and that's over. You can't get them back. People lose their loved ones. There's no end to that pain and suffering. They may learn how to cope with it, but they never get those people back. So you can't make that mistake. There's a zero tolerance, and this is my opinion, totally my opinion. I don't know. Anyway, guys, y'all enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Oh, let's hope and pray nobody gets shot, especially due to some negligence or just sheer ignorance from our dumbed down society that we're living in today. Regardless, you guys enjoy your weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Hope I can promote some thought process. Education isn't the answer. Anybody should know that you don't pull a trigger on a firearm. You should lay it on the table, and anybody should know you don't lay a firearm on a table loaded around a bunch of people. So I don't know what the answer is, guys. I'm totally stumped. I'm a Second Amendment lover who is totally stumped as to what we're going to do going forward. But you guys enjoy your day. Oh, we'll get some good shooting videos going here before long. It'll be something a little more fun. Might load up another World of Tanks video. I've been playing this World of Tanks game a little bit here lately. Kind of fun. I like Army tanks. Anyway, you guys take care.